Brandon Hero over here on the left with a 2134 PB. We've got Infinite Mystery with a 2342, so about 2 minutes difference in time. So Brandon, the definite favorite here, but you never know in terms of what could happen in a race. So hopefully we'll have some close races here, and we are starting off with Metal Man stage. Metal Man stage is a very high RNG stage. You're going to see them coming up on this section with moles coming down from the ceilings. They can take a lot of damage in this section, intentionally or unintentionally, depending on how quickly they want to go. You can see Grant in here playing it a little bit safer than Infinite Mystery by not damage boosting through those crushers. The runners are going to want to have at least five pellets of health left when they enter the boss, so that they can pull off a glitch to beat the boss a lot quicker, but that is completely dependent on RNG and drops, so our runners are fairly well synced up here. And Gren and Hero, unfortunately, both of these runners having a little bit of trouble with the Met Hat room there, but moving on just fine. Infinite Mystery with 4 pellets of health, Granin with 2. They both are going to need a drop of some sort in order to do the Metal Man glitch if they are intending to do so. So you see Granin here killing an extra enemy, hoping to get some health. Unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't happen. My last race didn't happen. Didn't get the health. Had to take an intentional death. So Granin apparently getting some bad luck. Infinite getting some good luck. And Granin, ooh, I think he is just too low on health to do the glitch. But if he's able to get hit by the Metal Blade, which is very precise and difficult to pull off, then he'll be fine. So let's see how these runners do this glitch. They're going to do exact movement, slide, jump, shoot, and then, yep, Granin's going to have to fight straight up. Oh, it looks like Infinite maybe doesn't know the glitch. So we're just doing a straight-up Metal Man fight. You don't get to see that often, so... generally, Metal Man, you can glitch him into the wall using some precise movement, and he stays in place. It makes it a lot easier to kill him much quicker, but I believe Infinite does not know the glitch and or isn't comfortable doing it in a race setting, and Granin, I believe, just went ahead and did a standard fight due to his health. The GG's, both runners passed Metal Man, and the Metal Blade that they will get from this fight is a very powerful weapon they can use quite a bit. You can shoot several of them on the screen at once, which is very useful. They cut straight through enemies, and it's a little overpowered, so very key weapon to pick up early. Here you're going to see some of the power of the Metal Blade over on Granin's screen here. Be interesting to see if either of these runners choose to opt to do the top route. Oh, Infinite Mystery doing a completely different game route, going Airman first. Very interesting. You won't have the leaf shield to kill Airman quickly, but everything else for the level is fine. There's no needed rush jet, you know, or something to do this level optimally. So kind of interesting decision though to go ahead and opt out of going to wood next. I assume that was intentional. So this is kind of an interesting divergence. We don't normally see people starting off on 2 different levels based on decision and not by a lead. So here we have Hero going up to fight Woodman. He is a very quick fight with the Metal Blade, takes 4 hits and kind of a joke of a fight. Here we have Infinite Mystery jumping on these clouds. Pretty simple. Normally you'd be using the leaf shield for this, but pretty simple to use the Buster, and considering you can't speed it up, it's basically the same amount of time anyways. Why is Infinite Mystery doing air second was the question. I'm not sure. Maybe he's more comfortable with this route. I'm not entirely positive why he decided to do that. We can probably ask him in the interview after. We'll see if race 2 he does the same thing. But there you see on Hero's screen how quickly Woodman goes down. Here we have Infinite doing the Buster fight with Airman, doing a really good job of getting a lot of hits in. Hopefully he has enough health or is able to avoid hits. I'm concerned. Oh, come on, Infinite. You got this. You got this. Yep, he got it. Good job by Infinite Mystery. GG's to him. Pulling off a very difficult Buster fight. I'm unsure if he selected the level on accident or if that's just something he decided to do that he was more comfortable with. But here these runners will be switching places. Hero is now heading into Airman stage, Infinite into Woodman stage, and you'll see some of the benefits of having the Leaf Shield in Airman stage coming up here. We already got a Twitch clip posted in the Discord. Ooh, and Grin Hero unfortunately falling off of the map and dying there, so losing a little bit of time. So giving Infinite a little bit of time to catch up. Infinite going ahead and working through Woodman stage now. I'm going to go ahead and refresh my stream because my audio is all desynced. But there we go. Hopefully that... Yep, now we're not desynced. Nice. The mole despawn. I didn't see that. Let me see if I can watch this little video while we switch places and do the same things here. Whose screen am I looking at? Who despawned the mole? I'm gonna have to go back and watch this more intently. Okay, so here you're going to see how much quicker the Airman fight is with the Leaf Shield. It's going to go ahead and do one hit, which will actually hit Airman twice, and then just roll into him with the shield, saving a lot of time. Definitely the reason why you would prefer to do Woodman second before Airman. So we'll still have to ask Infinite why he decided to do that, but since Grin Hero took the death in Airman, Infinite Mystery really not that much behind, even though doing a suboptimal strategy. And good kill by Infinite Mystery. I'll go ahead and refresh since you fixed the audio. Here we have Grin Hero entering into Clashman stage, or Crashman stage, whichever you want to call it. A lot of use of the Rush Jet here, so we just picked up the Rush Jet from Airman stage, and it makes this stage a lot faster. Obviously, you see all of these moving platforms you would have to wait for. You're able to skip past those altogether and hop onto different ladders. Apologize for the audio issues. Tear is working on it, so hopefully we'll have something fixed soon. But in the meantime, we can just focus on what the runners are doing. It's interesting to see what their strategies are in regards to E-Tanks. There's a lot of E-Tanks in this game, and the E-Tanks, most of them only cost a couple seconds to grab. Every runner seems to have a preference for which ones they prefer to grab over the other ones. So, Grin Hero not doing the first one in Crashman stage, probably going to get a second E-Tank in a later stage, which is actually optimal. So some runners like myself, who are not very good, sometimes tend to grab that one. I think it's a little bit more convenient to just grab both of them in this stage. I don't like grabbing the one in Needleman stage, personally. Okay, and this is the most difficult boss fight of the game, so let's see how Grin does. He starts off with the air buster, and he's just doing a safe strategy here. He will have to switch to the buster and hit him with one shot. Generally, runners will keep Rush Jet out, hit them with the one shot, and then switch to the air blaster. I don't know what it's called, but Grin going real safe with this fight, going ahead and just doing slides underneath each part of the phase rather than doing any damage boosting to get in shots earlier. So probably smart on his part and a nice clean kill. Infinite not using air, which is okay. Now he's using air. I'm a bit confused why he used so much, but maybe not wanting to miss any shots and having to menu back makes a bit of sense. So looks like he is doing a good job as well of taking care of this boss. He is very difficult, and one of the issues with Mega Man Game Boy that makes these fights difficult is the fact that you are just so big on the screen compared to the boss. I mean, look at the amount of room on that screen and your height jump, your jump height versus the boss there. It's just not a lot of room to move around. And so if you are not aware, the Mega Man Game Boy games are generally mashups outside of 5. So this is a mashup of Mega Man 2 and Mega Man 3 on the NES. So you saw a bunch of Mega Man 2 bosses, 4 of them that we just fought. Now we're going to be fighting 4 Mega Man 3 bosses. So kind of a cool part of the game is in that you can use, weapons from Mega Man 2 on Mega Man 3 bosses, something you obviously couldn't do on the NES. So kind of interesting. Most of these levels inspired by their NES counterparts as well. So you'll see familiar rooms and such. But in Magnet Man stage here, we're going to have to take a lot of damage, but it shouldn't be a big deal because, Magnet Fight is fairly scripted. However, Grin and Hero deciding to take it a little cautiously, killing some enemies that you normally would damage boost through. He also may have the stream up and be aware that he has a little bit of a lead on Infinite. Maybe knowing that combined with the PB advantage, he's just taking things a little bit safe, which I don't blame him for. Infinite opting to go ahead and grab the Magnet Man E-Tank there. Okay, I think the sound just got fixed, so that's good. It's at least close. Grin and Hero going into the Magnet Man stage, you want to have at least 5 pellets of health to make sure that you are able to endure tanking 1 hit. Almost all the bosses, if you touch the sprite of the boss, ooh, he took an extra hit there. He'll still be okay, but he's got to be careful, buddy. Ugh, cutting it close, not completely optimal, but he is okay, so that's good to see. Almost all the bosses do 4 bars of damage if you touch their sprite, and 2 if their projectile hits you. I believe Metal Man's projectile only does 1, but it's almost always optimal to get hit by their projectile over their body. But the optimal strategy for fighting Magnet Man there is to tank a hit and kind of kite him over to the right. You don't want him to do his protective guarding thing that'll deflect your metal blades. So let's see how Infinite does over here while Grin and Hero starts off Hardman stage. Ooh, and Grin and Hero getting bodied by some of those bees. That's very unfortunate. Okay, also opting for a bit of a different strategy. Hopefully he has enough health. Oh, an Infinite Mystery. Unfortunately taking a death to Magnet Man. Maybe not knowing the exact scripted fight, which makes that a lot more safe. You're able to just take 2 hits of damage instead of, or take 1 hit of damage as he comes down and then kite him over to the right, whereas Infinite took multiple hits of damage. That's unfortunate, but he should be good on the refight here. Looks like he's doing a solid job, and he's cleaned up that fight nicely. So Grin and Hero with about a level lead here, maybe a little bit less than a full level lead. It'll be interesting to see if any zips or any tricks coming up are going to influence that. So we are grabbing the Hard Knuckle, which is the weapon of choice from this man right here, Hardman, and that is a weapon that will allow us to break the game quite interestingly. So we'll see if any of these runners go for those zips, but if you use the Hard Knuckle either very low on the screen in a ladder or on the last frame as you're leaving the screen while you're falling, you are able to basically screen wrap and skip certain screens, and the game, it looks funny. It looks like a glitch. You're out of bounds and you're in weird parts of different rooms you're not supposed to be able to access, so we'll see if Grin and Hero gets any of those here in the Top Man stage. See a lot of love for Grin and Hero per usual in the chat. Lots of bats going up, so great support from his viewers, always showing up strong. One of the few partnered streamers who streams mostly Mega Man, so really awesome to have him in this tournament. He's been a great friend of mine, along with Infinite Mystery, and I don't have any rooting interest in this one. It's too hard. I like both these guys too much. Look at all that. Look at all that support. Yep, and here you see on Grin and Hero's screen, using that Hard Knuckle on the bottom of the ladder, is scrolling through screens, skipping different things that, only saves, I think if getting both of those saves like 10 seconds, but still, I mean, that's maybe not even 10 seconds, but it's still pretty awesome. And Grandin Hero having a pretty solid lead at this point. Infinite just finishing up hard man stage now. And Grandin Hero picking up an extra life for good luck. Let's see if Grandin Hero can get a one-cycle top man. 2 shots here. Yep, and he should be good. Yep, good job. Good fight. A lot of hero love in here. Let's see some love for Infinite Mystery, though, because Infinite Mystery, one of the nicest people in the whole speedrunning community. Big fan of him. He's great. I've roomed with him at GDQ, and just, you know, top-notch human being right there. So, got 2 great runners going here. Go ahead and give them follows if you have not already. Infinite picking up some extra hard knuckle, which is good. To be able to, so that does mean he's going to do some of these wraps. Needleman stage on hero screen, one of the more difficult stages, opting with some newly used, I feel like they weren't used much in the past, leaf shield strats there, saving some of his metal blade. And pretty nice movement there from Grandin Hero, getting across those little turrets, and he will be moving on to the second half. It'll be interesting to see if he does the new Elpis zip here at the end of Top Man stage or not. Infinite Mystery out of bounds in a room I've not seen anybody be out of bounds in before. Very interesting. I did not see what happened. Very interesting, Infinite. Infinite making this race different than every other Mega Man 2 Game Boy race you've seen. If somebody in chat can tell me what just happened, that would be great. But he's still out of bounds, and we've got Grandin Hero on the left also out of bounds, doing the new Elpis zip, which doesn't save a ton of time. But what it does do, you'll see his hard knuckles almost out. He needs it for Wily stage. There's a large weapon refill over on the that you're supposed to use rush coil to go up and get in that room, but you're able to slide right through it using that zip, so you're able to get a big hard knuckle refill, which removed a lot of RNG from the route. The RNG used to be that you needed hard knuckle drops in order to attempt some of the Wily zips, and now you're able to just safely get that refill. So Grandin Hero using the first of his E-Tanks, meaning that he can use his top attack very aggressively, getting bodied by Top Man, but just 4 spins and he is down. Infinite Mystery starting off the level that Grandin Hero is finishing off now. It's inbounds, but the inbounds just looks messed up. Yeah, I mean, he's just like a tile lower than he's supposed to be on the screen, which was interesting. So let's see how Hero's Quint fight goes. Quint is Mega Man from the future, so that's cool, I guess, right? I mean, but he's also not very good at fighting, so he's not a super fighting robot anymore. He's just a bad fighting robot. Yeah, Top Man was also in the floor, so, you know, it was a fair exchange. Grandin's now moving on to Wily stage. Wily is a fairly long stage. The zips save the most time of any of the zips in the run so far, allowing you to avoid a whole winding maze that is normally required. Meanwhile, Infinite Mystery going into the end of Needleman stage, didn't do the Elpis zip and is out of hard knuckle, so he will not be doing any of these Wily zips. So Grandin is going to have to make a huge mistake in order for Infinite to catch up at this point. He's got enough hard knuckle to do the wraps, screen wraps that he needs to do, and Infinite, I mean, is going to have to take a little extra time to grab a full energy refill to do them in Wily stage. If not, he will just have to wrap around that maze, which will take, you know, a considerable amount of time. So with only 1 level left, it's going to be real hard for Infinite to catch up here in Game 1. But you never know. so he was Mega Man from the future, but then we killed him. So then shouldn't we also die? That's the deep question I have for chat. Makes no sense. Infinite going ahead and finishing off Quint, entering into Wily Man stage. Hero having a little bit of trouble hopping on the dog there. The jump to get on the Rush Jet there is actually a lot more difficult than it looks like, and it's a real frustrating thing to be on PB pace or good pace and you try and jump and fall down the screen. I mean, it doesn't lose a ton of time, but when it comes to, you know, trying to get a nice optimal PB pace, it can. So, Grin Hero, not on PB pace particularly, but maybe depends how long this Wily fight takes. He is at 21:43. He's entering into Wily at around 20:25. So I don't know exactly how long the Wily fight is, but optimally he could PB here. I believe it's around a minute fight if you do it optimally. Ooh, be careful, Grand Hero! Okay, finishes off phase 1. And Infinite getting that full hard refill. There is going to go ahead and do the next zip as well. Good job by him. So smart of him to know that he can get that large weapon refill and refill his hard knuckle, and goes ahead and is heading towards Wily himself. Grin Hero here, possible PB. Definitely is a possible PB coming in here. Let's get the PB hype going. So he's gonna have to avoid bombs and these little missile guys, and sometimes you can get 2 shots in per jump. The way they phase through the skull mask, you have to line them up very precisely, but you can get 2 hits sometimes. Sometimes you only end up getting 1. And time! That is an 7-second PB for Grand Hero. Congratulations to Grand Hero taking match 1. Very excited for him. Infinite Mystery, on the other hand, also on PB pace. He has a 23:43, I believe. We could have back-to-back PBs here. Yep, 23:42 is the time we are looking to beat for Infinite. So as long as he has an okay Wily fight here, he will be good to get the PB. Gotta be careful on his health. Okay, he has 3 E-Tanks, so this should be a PB for Infinite. I don't see what could possibly cost him this much time, so I think this is going to be dual-wielding PBs, so that's really exciting to see. Infinite, come on, you got this, buddy. Okay, finishing off phase 1. World record for this game is an 18:07. Andy's here to correct me. 18 low 18 teens or high 18-0x. I don't know which. Okay, Infinite switching over to that magical pogo stick, the Sakugarne, finishing off phase 2, and we will see if we are able to get back-to-back PBs for these runners. 18, 18, 18. Woo! Now, there is a lot of optimization in this run. A lot of these runners have been working very hard on adding new tricks or just optimizing movement, and so there's been a lot of improvement on this game in the past 6 months, really, especially due to Indy and some of these other runners. Ooh, and a 23:38, 4 seconds off PB. Dang, so close. But, you know, if you can say you're going into a race and you get within... Oh, no, 23:42 is his PB. That's a 4-second PB. That's awesome. So we got 2 PBs here. Huge shout-outs to Infinite Mystery and Grand Hero for the PBs. Give them some love in the chat. So that race, I'd say, fairly telling of... You know, the level that these runners are both at, both of them getting about the same PB. Grand Hero pulling off a 7-second PB, lowering his best time from a 21:43 to a 21:36. And Infinite Mystery, in similar fashion, lowering his PB from a 23:42 to a 23:38. So these runners still 2 minutes apart, but both improving, so really excited for them. Oh, Hero did not PB. Hero told me in chat before the stream that his PB was a 21:34. Oh. Okay, 2 seconds off for Grant and Hero. Bummer. Okay, I'm sorry. Still very close to his PB. I apologize for the mistake there, mixing up the numbers in my head, but Infinite with the 4-second PB, Grant and Hero with 2 seconds off PB, basically showing exactly the kind of runners they are. You know, being very consistent with your PB in a race is a really exciting thing to do. I mean, I normally get within 30 seconds of my PB, like plus 30 seconds of my PB when I do a race, so to be that close to your PB, very impressive. And it looks like we are starting to boot up the next race. Well, congrats to Infinite Mystery. He has lowered his time from a 28-something before this tournament started to now a 21 or 23:38. So that's really exciting. He's lowered his PB over 5 minutes. It's been really exciting to see a lot of these runners get into this game. You know, the winner of this match is going to face Hard Selection, who is the 13 seed, but Hard Selection is now has a better time than me, and I am the 3 seed. So that just shows how much time some of these runners have been putting into this game. He now has a 1902 or 1922 as the 13 seed. So it's just crazy to see how much time people put into this. Exciting to see someone like Infinite Mystery lower his PB by 5 minutes. Grandin's lowered his PB by a few minutes as well since he started practicing for the tournament. He had learned this game at Tiny 10 initially, so really exciting to see runners getting into it and grinding down their times. Okay, we need to make sure that we are able to enter into the next race there. I think, per usual, we're all rooting for a match 3. I think we all want a third race between these runners, so I'm pulling a little bit more for Infinite Mystery than I should be as a commentator, because I want race number 3 to pop up here. So let's root on these wonderful runners as they're about to get kicked off here. Looks like we're counting down to start off race number 2. No, you got this, Infinite, I believe. Just waiting. Let's go ahead and refresh. I want to refresh the restream. Okay, looks like we are kicking off with Metal Man once again. Now, let's see. It'll be interesting to see 2 things coming from race number 1. First of all, will Grandin Hero do the Metal Man glitch? He did not have enough health to do it last time. Infinite did, but opted not to. So it'll be interesting to see if Grandin does that. Also, it's going to be interesting to see if Infinite decides once again to do Airman stage after Metal Man stage, which is not optimal. I don't know if that was an accidental menu or if that's just a specific strat that he's more comfortable getting that stage out of the way or using, you know, the air attack on something in a later stage. I'm not sure, so it'll be interesting to see. Infinite having a good amount of health leaving that section, same with Grandin Hero, so that's nice. You always want to leave that section with at least 4 pellets if you can. Often you leave with 2, unfortunately. Oh, Hero taking an unfortunate hit and getting knocked back onto the treadmill, whereas Grandin getting, or Infinite getting multiple health drops. So Infinite is going to be doing a lot better health-wise going into Metal Man. Unfortunately, it seems he doesn't do the glitch, so that's going to make things a little bit more difficult, but he is taking a early lead here in Metal Man stage against some of these unfortunate RNG situations. Oh, and Granin did get the health, so that's good to see. You got to root for them to not have to take an intentional death on Metal Man. That's always the worst. And did we lose Granin? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, the game froze? Uh-oh. Well, we'll see if he's able to catch up the time. That is the exact difference in their PBs is 2 minutes, basically. So he is restarting the match 2 minutes in. This will give him a chance to, you know, possibly push this to a game 3. Come on, Infinite, so close to finishing this off. What a clutch kill by Infinite. He was down to 1 bar of health. I would say at least three of those jumps, and he cleared the metal blades each time. That was really scary. This is going to make it really tight because Granin is taking a 2 minute discount. I don't know what the rules are for this, for speed gaming. I know this is my tournament that I'm organizing, so I should know. But I think they just have to play on, unfortunately. They are past the reset time, I think, for SRL. But if they did want to reset, I think that would be fine. But it looks like Granin just going ahead and continuing through. Granin doing very well on health this time, which is nice. We'll see if he goes ahead and does the glitch. And yep, as we see, Infinite Mystery does choose Woodman stage, so the Airman choice was a mistake. Really good job by him last time, going through Airman stage and fighting Airman without dying, using Buster strats, not having you know, the leaf shield that he would normally be using in there. So good job adjusting by Infinite. We weren't sure if that was an intentional decision or not. It appears that it was not, and he is going on to Woodman stage per the usual route. And here you're going to see the Metal Man glitch done finally. Good job by Granin Hero sticking Metal Man in the corner and getting him stuck in the wall. Makes him a lot easier to just go ahead and rail on there. He doesn't want to reset, you asked him? Okay. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, it appears that Infinite must have accidentally menued. Instead of hitting down, he must have hit down and right. He maybe hit a diagonal on the D-pad, and it ate that as 2 inputs. But he still PB'd with that route, correct? So even better chance of PBing this time, right? And a nice job taking down Woodman there. Okay, he told you. Okay, well, yeah, I know, and I think we all are aware that Infinite would reset. Being one of the nicest people in the world, wouldn't have even considered that he wouldn't. But Granin Hero being a good sport, saying, you know, had a malfunction. It's on me. I gotta take the time loss, and you know, see if I can catch up. So it'll be interesting to see. And Granin Hero also doing Airman stage? Am I right about this? Is he doing Airman before Woodman too? This has been a one wacky race going on here. Yeah, I do not understand exactly why that keeps happening, but it seems our runners are having issues with the stage select menu, so both of our runners in the same level now. Don't let that deceive you. Infinite does have a full level lead due to the hardware failure for Granin Hero, so interesting to say the least that both these runners have accidentally chosen Airman to be their second stage. Oh my goodness, an Infinite Mystery. First of all, has the metal blade out for some reason, instead of the leaf shield. I guess wanting to preserve the leaf shield. But falls, misses the jump, but lands on a platform hidden by a cloud. Kind of a scary moment there that you might not realize the cloud is covering up the platform. But, oh, and Granin Hero, unfortunately, taking a death to Airman. You have to have a lot of health to kill Airman Buster-wise. As you can see, it's very crowded quarters in that room. A big, you know, props to Infinite Mystery for being able to adjust and clutch out his Airman fight Buster only last time, because that was really impressive. So here you'll see how much quicker this is with the Leaf Shield. Nice job by Infinite. These runners appearing to be synced up again. Grand and Hero has to go back and do Woodman stage. Unfortunately, Grand and Hero not having the best second race. First race, he was within 2 seconds of his PB. This race, unfortunately, has a hardware failure. His game crashed, and then restarts, does the levels in the wrong order. So Infinite having a real good chance of pushing this to a Game 3, which is really exciting. And this is just, once again, a good time to remind you all to follow these runners and support them. They're entertaining us for free right now, so go ahead, give them follows. Let them know you support them. Infinite Mystery, a runner of just literally dozens of games. He runs everything. Grand and Heroes just finished up a Game Boy project. He does a lot of different really cool variety stream stuff. Both of them very much worth your follow, so go hit them up. Here we've got Infinite Mystery just coasting on the dog throughout all of Clashman stage. He's going to have a difficult fight coming up. Let's see how safely he plays it and if it goes all right. Definitely the hardest fight in the game, and a possibility for Grand and Hero to make up some of that unfortunately lost time. And here we have Infinite Mystery entering into the difficult fight, getting a little health drop there, which is kind of nice, considering just how difficult it is to avoid getting bodied by Clashman. Here we've got Grand and Hero just tearing through Woodman with his saw. No concerns there. Okay, and yep, same strategy last time that Infinite did, doing a couple of extra shots with the Buster. Ooh, but taking full body shots. Okay, he's got to play this safe. You got to play this safe, buddy. You got this. Okay. Understanding his patterns, able to slide underneath. He did miss an airman shot, but he did extra... yeah, he's going to have to switch to the Buster again. Oh my goodness! My man, Infinite Mystery, clutching it out. That was scary. There were ups, there were downs, there were peaks and valleys, but he made it through. He's moving on to the second half of the game with the full level lead over Grand and Hero. Looking for the upset in round 2 here to force it to a round 3 matchup here. That was quite the thing. Okay, and here we've got Grand and Hero traversing his way through the Clashman stage. Be interesting to see how his fight goes as well. He is already down a life from dying to Airman, so he definitely does not want to lose another one to Crashman here. I am giving us definitely a large amount of boss thrillers. He has clutched out a Buster Air fight that was very close. He just clutched out that fight. He had a few others too. There's been too many to even remember. Oh, the Metal Man fight that he was down to 1 pellet of health and had to jump over the blades 3 times. Here doing the same strategy of going ahead and getting the E-Tank here in Magnet Man stage. Sorry about that. Kind of seems to be a popular one amongst a lot of the runners, especially the new runners. It's one that I've never grabbed myself. And here we've got Grand and Hero in here taking a fairly aggressive Clashman fight, realizing that, oh no, and taking another death. He is going to be down to 1 life. He is going to have to do most of this fight with Buster because he used half of his air attack. What is it called? The air something? Yeah, and this is going to take a lot longer for him, unfortunately. A lot smaller of a hitbox for the Buster than it is the air attack, so having to kind of adjust to that, slowly whittling the robot down here as Infinite tears through Magnet Man stage and just increases his lead. Really a pretty much worst case scenario for Grin and Hero on this whole second match. But, you know, gives us a third match, and that's what the people want. Let's see, Infinite took a death to Magnet Man last time. Let's see if he gets his revenge. Okay, looking good so far. He's got plenty of health. Yeah, this fight going much smoother than it did last time. Ooh! That's the attack you want to try and avoid, or not attack, but defense, because it reflects the metal shield, but metal blade. But good job by Infinite, getting his revenge on Magnet Man, taking him down. Hasn't died yet, knock on wood, and has a pretty good pace going for himself here. I would believe he's on PB pace once again. Here we're going to have Infinite Mystery going into Hardman stage. Hardman stage is really one of the easiest stages. It's interesting, there's been some, I wouldn't say new tech, but strategies discovered, some calculations made on the abacus to determine that using Rush Coil, I guess, loses you 0.7 seconds, whereas it was used to have been believed that it saved you time. So Indy going ahead and doing the testing on that, finding some new strategies, actually using the magnet attack on these monkeys coming up here, but most runners going to go ahead and just stick with what they've learned and are used to with the Rush Coil strats. Don't, you know, what's 1 second for most of us? Wily looks younger. I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe he is younger. Grin and Hero is going to have to be really careful throughout the rest of this this race, because he is down to his last life. One-up drops are not very common in this game, and he is, you know, going to be one death away from having a game over in which he would have to restart a full level that he's at. The nice thing with the game over is it would refill all of his weapon energies, which is something that does not happen in the second half of the game. So the first 4 Robot Masters, the ones from Mega Man 2, ooh, nice fight by Infinite Mystery there on Hardman. The first 4, after each stage, your health, your weapon energies refill. But this second section with the 4 Mega Man 3 bosses, actually your weapon energy does not refill. So there's a lot of decisions being made on when to use Metal Blades and when to use your Hard Knuckle for the glitches. It makes it a lot harder. So if he does happen to take a death, he could get that stuff refilled. Sprinting Legs ended up her first match with 9 lives and was still finding more. Well, that is a very uncommon occurrence. You do so much damage boosting in the run that I feel like one-up drops are fairly uncommon, but that's just me. I don't know. They're definitely not Mega Man 5 common, you're right. Ooh, Infinite getting a big health refill there. All things coming up Millhouse for Infinite Mystery over there. Has a full stage lead going into the end here of second half here of Top Man stage. He's going to go ahead and hopefully do some glitches here. You'll see that he cannot slide under that. That's the one difference between the Japanese version and the Japanese and American versions and the European version, and that's why most of us run this on the European version. One of the rare situations where a European version of a game is fastest, because one block is different, basically. I think there may be one other difference that I'm not aware of, but pretty funny. That one block is a reason to do a different version of a game, but saves like 3 seconds being able to slide under it, so... Okay, Infinite Mystery going to the Top Man fight. See how his Hard Knuckle attack goes. Okay, he's gonna have used a little bit extra Hard Knuckle, unfortunately, and have to do, you know, second phase, quote unquote, or second cycle of that Top Man fight. Once he starts spinning, he reflects the Hard Knuckle back off. Both these runners in sync, 1 level apart. There's a few extra toothpaste enemies, yeah, but they don't make a difference in terms of speedrun. That's the only difference speedrun-wise or anything significant, which is kind of funny when you consider how different lots of versions of these games can tend to be. Infinite Mystery going ahead and pushing his way into Needleman stage, one of the harder stages, getting a little metal refill there, which is always useful. It seems that Infinite does do some additional metal blade strats that aren't in the world record route, and so nice for him to go ahead and get a little bit of a refill there. He's definitely trying to kill a lot of enemies, which could help him get a lot of drops, etc. Brandon, unfortunately, taking a double hit to that cat there. Let's see how his screen wraps go. These screen wraps that Infinite decided to skip. And here's what we're talking about. Sliding under there versus the way being blocked. Good, clean screen wrap from Granite Hero. Unfortunately, falling all the way down the ladder, maybe on purpose. Looks like this was an on-purpose decision to go ahead and get that additional E-Tank. So, getting the first zip there. And Infinite, once again, not doing the new Needleman strat. Ooh, down to 1 pellet of health. Better use one of those E-Tanks, buddy. Struggling a bit with his menu to get there, but he got there. Some of the menus can be pretty awkward in this game. It's definitely an appreciated part of the speedrun when you menu quickly versus not. You know, you can memorize all of these different menus. You know when you're switching weapons usually, so the quicker the menu, obviously, that time does add up quite a bit. Infinite going ahead, heading into Needleman with a lot of health, so he's good. Granite Hero pulling off the one cycle top man, going ahead into Needle stage as well. Infinite's going to have to make sure that he holds on to this lead. He does not want to make any big mistakes. He doesn't want to die in Wily or anything, and give Granite Hero, an opportunity to catch up, because his tournament life is at stake here, and he has all the opportunity in the world to force this to a game 3. So. And Infinite Mystery taking down Quint. Moving on to the Wily stage, trying to wrap up another PB here. He definitely is on pace for it. On pace for a very good time right now. And could definitely get a more sizable PB than the, what did he get, a 2 or 4 second PB last time. I think he is possibly in line for a much bigger PB here. So great run going here for Infinite. Here we've got our boy Granite Hero going ahead, grabbing that extra E-Tank down there. Playing it safe makes sense. He probably knows he's not winning this match without a miracle due to the hardware failure that he had, and just wants to make sure he doesn't game over. So smart to grab the extra E-Tank. I don't blame him. But definitely will be ready for game 3, and we'll see what happens. Infinite Mystery has enough Hard Knuckle. I don't believe he needs to get this refill here, and he's not going to. So he cannot go for the... Ooh. Okay, he did not waste the Hard Knuckle there, at least. Yeah, he can't go for the falling ones at risk of missing one, but I think he doesn't go for those anyway. So going ahead, pulling off those nice Wily zips there, very clean, and moving on to the second half of Wily Man stage, his race to lose. Granite Hero going ahead, finishing up Needleman, and we'll be heading into Quinn. Hero is definitely catching up. I mean, he does have a 2-minute faster PB, but also, Infinite doing a really good job of keeping that 2 minutes ahead of him, considering, that he is on PB pace, which is great. So, be interesting to see what happens here. I'm rooting for a good, solid PB for Infinite Mystery. He's got, I believe, 2 E-Tanks to use on Wily, which is more than enough, so he should be good to go. Let's hope. Getting a little bit of Rush Jet refill, which is always nice, but low on health. He's going to probably have to use his first E-Tank very quickly or take an intentional death. I think he's going to go ahead and opt for the E-Tank, so now he's kind of at the normal world record amount of E-Tanks and health for this part, maybe a little bit extra health than we normally have, but no extra safeties, extra E-Tanks for him on this PB hunt here, so he's going to have to be careful on this Wily fight, and he does not opt to do a Rush Jet strats here, so that's interesting to see. He didn't do them the first time either, even though he had Rush Jet out, so and going ahead, cleaning up phase 1, hopefully he continues a clean fight. Let's see how the Sakugarne phase 2 goes. The Sakugarne is the pogo stick that we stole from Quint. Ooh, and he's going ahead and not doing the Sakugarne, realizing how much damage it takes. He's going to go ahead and just use the Buster. Kind of smart. Honestly, I'm kind of for it. And now he can go ahead and use his last E-Tank on the last phase. He is going to get a sizable PB here. Oh, does he do it on phase 3? Oh, he's not doing it. He didn't do it on phase 3 last match. He's not doing it on phase 3 now. Just opting fully to leave the dog at home. You know, you don't want to send in a dog to do a robot's job, robot man's job. So, and we are going to get an awesome PB for Infinite Mystery at a 22:52. That is impressive. That is a, what, 40-second PB? 40-second PB, I think? Really, really nice time by Infinite Mystery. Everybody give some love out to Infinite Mystery for back-to-back PBs in this race. Can't do much better than that. Good job by him, for sure. And he is going to send this to a match 3. Grandin Hero, though, catching up a lot of that time that he lost on the 2-minute hardware failure reset, and we'll see how close he would have been if it weren't for that. Tons of GGs out there in the chat for our boy Infinite Mystery. This race would have been very close regardless of the hardware reset. That was a 2-minute time loss for Grandin Hero, and he's probably going to finish a minute and a half to 2 minutes behind Infinite Mystery. So really interesting to see that this would have been a close race regardless. Grandin Hero not having the greatest run in certain parts of this compared to his first run, which was 2 seconds off his PB. He accidentally chose Airman Stage 2nd, a theme that we'll see if anybody continues into the 3rd match. Also took a death to Clashman and had to fight him Buster only. So definitely not his greatest match, probably ready to go ahead and hit that restart button, but finishing about 2 minutes behind Infinite, which is about how much time he lost on the hardware failure. Would have been a really close race. Really, really close race. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick drink of water while we wait for these runners to boot up. I believe Grandin Hero is playing on an EverDrive. I'm actually certain he is, yeah. So I don't know if it was an issue with the EverDrive, issue with the Super Nintendo. I'm not sure what happened there, but he did state that he wanted to continue the race going, even though he lost the 2 minutes. He didn't feel like it was fair to Infinite Mystery to have to reset, which is incredibly kind of him. Ultimately, would have been almost a completely even race, although we can't really state how much Hero was affected by the frustration of having a hardware failure there, but an amazing run by Infinite Mystery. I mean, 40 seconds better than his best time ever, so really great job. And Grandin Hero, you know, still going to be the favorite going into match 3. Is he going to be able to shake off some of that frustration from the way that run went after the hardware failure and take this home, or is Infinite going to pull off the upset? His PB was 2 minutes behind Grandin Hero's PB going into this race. However, now it is only a minute and 20 seconds behind. Not a lot of races in this tournament to this point have actually gone to a third match, which is kind of interesting to talk about. We've had a lot of lopsided matches to start it off. I mean, I think that's how a lot of these bracket tournaments go, but we have only had a couple go to round 3, so this is really exciting to see. Let's see how many we've had. We've had 1, 2... 3. We've only had 3 matches before this go to a third round, so really exciting. Interesting that Grandin Hero is involved in one of those other matches against Elpis, taking a run off Elpis. I believe Elpis soft locked in that run, but you know, interesting to see that Grandin Hero, I guess, getting a little bit of that luck reversed on him, taking a win in a match from a soft lock previously, now kind of having a reverse of that issue. But we are going into match number 3. Winner take all. The winner moves on to play hard selection. The loser is out of the race, out of the tournament. I would say they are sent home, but they all are at their homes. That's where their video games are. But, you know, in a metaphorical sense, they're getting sent home. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here on this round 3. And we are off once again. Oh, Infinite Mystery accidentally choosing Crashman stage, restarting the game, losing 8 seconds to that, unfortunately. But, you know, better than playing Crashman stage without Rush Jet and without, you know, the air attack, doing it with Buster only. That would be really difficult. So, smart, quick reaction for him to reset there and only lose 8 seconds, to be honest. And we'll see how their health goes going into the end of this, you know, this matchup between them, this third time through Metal Man stage. Looks like Grandin Hero doing very well on health coming out of the mole stage, getting a little bit of reverse luck from his first race, and Infinite, unfortunately, going to have to kill some moles manually because he is down to his last hit. Grandin Hero taking off to a pretty sizable lead here. Infinite, unfortunately, making the mistake with loading. Now, we'll have to keep that in mind if Infinite gets the health drop, which is really useful in this situation. He needs a little bit more. If Infinite is within 8 seconds of his PB, he would still be able to get a PB because he had to reset. So his time will technically be 9 seconds faster than whatever we see at the end, but for race purposes, that obviously will not count. And Grandin able just to damage boost through these various enemies to get to the Metal Man fight because of the extra health he got, which he deserves because he's gotten some bad luck so far. So, and here you're going to see a glitch once again, Metal Man glitch, getting him stuck on the wall there and just able to shoot him down. He can get removed from the wall if you do your movement poorly, but pretty easy fight once you do that. And Infinite's going to only have 3 hits of health for this fight. He's going to have to be really careful. Doing a very good job, though. Ooh, getting messed up. His rhythm getting messed up now, though. Oh, is he going to clutch out another boss fight? Oh, and no, he couldn't. Metal Man going ahead and moving across the screen. We are going to have to teach our friend Infinite Mystery how to do the Metal Man glitch. Getting a second shot at it, but losing a decent bit of time, both with the accidental menu to have to restart the game and then taking a death on Metal Man. He did pick up an extra life while moving through the phase, so he's going to be at the same number of lives as Grandin Hero, so that is nice. Not really at risk of gaming over, already getting that extra life. But he is going to have his work cut out for him to catch up here. Now, you'll see these runners hop into Rush Marine. We haven't talked about this yet, but there is an ability to do that top route up there. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on up there. It saves 3 seconds to go ahead and traverse that versus going to Rush Marine, but you have to have the right amount of health. You have to play the beginning of the level properly, and you really have to be careful with your movement because you can't take additional damage. But it does save 3 seconds. Neither of these runners has opted to do that yet. I think most runners in a race setting at this 21-22 PB level are going to go ahead and just do Rush Marine. But as you see in the later rounds, you're going to see a lot of people doing that top route, and it's going to be exciting. So Granite Hero already starting off with a decent lead here due to that reset and the death on Metal Man stage. About I would say a half a stage ahead. Doing a good job there of killing Woodman. Not a very difficult fight, obviously. Infinite Mystery going ahead and doing the Rush Marine strats. Coming from behind here. As we stated earlier, if you were not here, the winner of this match is going to be facing Hard Selection. This match is the 11 versus 14 seed, Granite Hero being the 11 and Infinite being the 14 seed. Hard Selection is the 13 seed, and that might be deceptive to you because you'd think, okay, so he's like a 22 runner, 23 runner, something like that. Nope. Hard Selection is a 19-22. He's actually has a better time than I do as the 3 seed. So whoever wins this match is going to have a very difficult match up ahead of them. Some of the seeding not helping people out in terms of being lucky or not lucky, you hope, oh, I'm the 13 or I'm the 11 seed, I'm the 14 seed, I'm going to be facing the 13 seed. That's great, but that 13 seed has a top 7 time now, so pretty funny. But you never know. You never know what could happen. They're going to have a hard time. I see what you did there, Elpis. Very well played, my friend. Infinite Mystery going ahead and finishing up Woodman stage, entering into Airman stage. So we did not have a repeat of match 1 and 2 in which one of the runners went to air second. However, Infinite did go to Clash first on accident, but he did immediately reset. So, we didn't get quite the shenanigans that we did the first go and the second go round. Very, very quick kill by Granite Hero there. Very nice job. Wow. Now the puns are coming out. It's going to be one heck of a clash. Wow. Wow. I would tell you to stop, but I kind of like the puns. Infinite Mystery going ahead and opting to stay with the Buster here. He's kind of done some interesting strats. Yeah, he switches to the Metal Blades. So I don't know. He does not feel safe with using the Leaf Shield properly here. So generally what you would do is hit one of the enemies with the Leaf Shield and then shoot it out to hit the next one in front of you. It does involve some fairly precise timing, and you want to make sure you have enough Leaf Shields left for Airman. Doing the additional menu, I guess not too big of a deal, so Infinite would rather just go ahead and use the Metal Blade and do the second menu after. Drawn to bad puns like a magnet. And Infinite here. There we go, good fight. It's not a coincidence. That's a bit of a stretch. I don't want to meddle with this conversation, but that was a bit of a stretch. I don't want to rush you all along. I like to err on the side of caution, you know what I mean? Yeah, we don't need to finish them all, though, you know. I just lost sound. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So, I'm not sure if... Okay, I thought we might have had another crash there. Not the Crash Man or Clash Man that we're fighting, but an actual console crash by Grand and Hero. But he is good. I think it's probably just a bit of, you know, internet stuff going on there. So he is good and finished up with his Crash Man fight. Infinite Mystery still keeping pace, even though he had kind of the rough beginning with picking the wrong stage and then also dying to Metal Man. But he is about half a stage behind here going into the second half of Crash Man stage. Quintupled since last time I read the chat. You all are the best. Sequential order. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. I love all the love for this tournament that I had the idea of. I didn't think any of you would be excited to run the game. Didn't think any of you would be excited to watch it. Here we are. People have been loving it. We're pushing on. Gonna be starting round 3 of the losers bracket soon. We're gonna be starting round 4 of the winners bracket soon. So it's been a lot of fun, and I really appreciate it. It's gonna be interesting to see who wins this matchup. Will Infinite Mystery here pull off yet another clutch, close health boss fight? He has time and time again clutched them out. He wasn't quite able to do it with Metal Man in the beginning of this run. Has his clutchness run out, or is he good to go? It looks like he's pulling it off. Nice job by Infinite Mystery. He feels the most comfortable fighting a boss with 1 hit left, so good job by him. Grin and Hero here pushing through the second half of Metal Man stage, doing a lot of where he's supposed to be damage boosting but killing enemies, but not succeeding in killing them and still taking the damage. So losing the time and the health, unfortunately, but you know, I think he's going to be okay on health here going into the Magnet fight. We'll see. Depends on how clean his fight is. Neither of these runners have executed a fully clean Magnet Man fight yet, so he is going to have to be careful, but I think he'll be okay. Question mark? And as you see, part of the reason why this game has gotten improved so much over the last 6 months, we see people like Endy in chat. We saw some sort of moldy spawn in the first race, and he's already looked into it and investigated it. Elpis has clipped it. This community has gotten very passionate about this game. It's really cool to see, and I've always loved this game quite a bit, so it's exciting to have, you know, the speedrunning community backing it up. Grin and Hero playing that a little bit close there. He almost got hit by Magnet right there at the end to die, but he pulls off a fairly decent Magnet Man fight. Health did not end up being an issue, and he is still pushing forward ahead of Infinite Mystery. This race could come down to wily fight. Any mistake, Infinite Mystery is within punching shot of taking this match. He's not so far behind that Grin and Hero can't take a, you know, can take a death somewhere or anything. So it's going to be very interesting to see who ends up eliminated from this tournament out of this matchup. It's been much closer than I have expected, I will say that much. Hardman stage, ironically, one of the easiest stages. In terms of just basically you slide across it. It's very short. Lots of just ladder climbs. I don't know. I feel like they really mailed it in a bit on this stage. Like, nothing happens here. Does anybody else feel like nothing happens here? You don't really even fight any of the enemies. You just damage boost straight through them. They don't do very much damage. Not the bees! Not like bees. And Granon going ahead, already at the end of that stage, going to be heading there. Let's see if Infinite, again, another very close health, almost dead fight for him, but pulls it off. 2 for 3 from Magnet. He got his revenge by getting killed by Magnet Man in the first race. And a nice kill by Grin and Hero there. You are actually able to kill Hardman before he even jumps, but it's fairly difficult to pull off. Don't lose much time by killing him once he's in the air there. When you really lose time is when he actually hits the ground, because it shakes the screen and pauses for a while, and that can take, several seconds to get through. Infinite Mystery having some really nice movement here, not getting hit by any of the bees. He's not tricked by their, their trickiness, their bee trickiness. They are good to go. I need to be right back, but I will be here for the end of this amazing race. Just give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to postpone something that was supposed to be at 5:30 because these racers have pushed this to a third race for their tournament lives here, and we are going right down to the stretch to figure out who is going to be moving on and who is going to be going home. So, Grandin Hero doing a good job here. I did not get to see which zips he got or did not get, but only one E-Tank saved up so far. He has not taken an additional E-Tank. Maybe feeling like he needs to push forward with Infinite being fairly close behind. But he is about a full level ahead at this point, which is pretty sizable. It's going to be difficult for Infinite to catch up at this point. He's going to need a real mistake from Granin on Wily or Needleman stage. Got a nice zip from Hero. Okay, thank you so much. So sorry for the bad commentary. I don't know if you're mocking me there, Elpis. But, sorry, I have an obligation at 5:30. I emailed them to ask them to bump it back so that we can finish this race off and I can bring on these runners to interview them and ask them all the questions you want to hear. Like, why do you like Airman Stage so much that you want to do it so early? Okay, here, Grandin Hero going ahead with these Leaf Shield strats against these little spiky guys, these porcupines? I think they're supposed to be porcupines, something like that. One of the more difficult stages, in my opinion. He's also going to go ahead and have to grab the E-Tank, it appears, at the end of this stage, which I find to be very difficult to grab optimally. And this is just not another stage you want to have to take any more damage on than you'd like. So here we see Infinite going ahead grabbing an additional E-Tank in Top Man stage. See how cleanly Granin's able to pick this up. As you see, taking 2 additional hits of damage. Not something you really like to do in this particular stage, just because of all these crushers that you're trying to skip through. But okay, he did have enough weapon energy. The weapon energy can be tricky in this game. You can sometimes have like half energies needed, so you'll think you have enough bars to do what you need, and then you don't. Going ahead and refilling his health there with the E-Tank, doing a nice job of actually not taking damage there. He'll have plenty of health for the Needleman fight. And Infinite, once again, just getting stuck on the floor. What a silly, silly guy, this Infinite Mystery, just glitching all over the place. And a nice kill from Grandin Hero on Needleman. Infinite Mystery now a full level behind. It's looking like maybe his luck has run out. He has hit 2 PBs in a row. He has been running hot. But Grandin Hero, you know, with the 2-minute better PB, might just be too strong of an opponent for him to overtake. Only time will tell here as Grandin Hero enters into the Quint fight. Mega Man from the future. A nice job shooting those Clash Bombs. If you miss them, they explode and take a lot of time. I wouldn't know from anything personal, but and a nice clean fight from Grandin Hero. Quint not switching over to the left side. And Grandin on possible PB pace? Question mark. I mean, Wily is one of the longer stages, but, you know, he could be... Ooh, interesting decision. Why is Infinite using all his Hard Knuckle? He may have thought that he had Metal Blade out, and that is not going to help him for Wily. Hero could possibly be on PB pace. He needs to beat Wily's stage in about 3 minutes. I feel like that's about as long as it takes, so it could be real close. It could be a small PB, but he could get a PB here. Just depends on how efficiently he does his Wily fight and these screen wraps here. Okay, nice start. These are the screen wraps that save the most time. Going for the frame perfect, didn't quite pull it off. That's okay, he's got one more shot here and able to pull off those zips, skipping by that whole little maze section there. That's the biggest time save that the Hard Knuckle strat presents to this run, because it's just a long time to go up and down those ladders, whereas most of the other screen wraps that you've seen only save, you know, a couple seconds a piece, which is still, you know, really nice, especially for world record pace runs, but at the end of the day, not making a huge difference. If you're learning this game and you want to do, you know, do the best tricks, you're going to want to learn that for sure, because those ones save a good chunk of time. Probably like 20 seconds. And they are very free to learn. You can line them up on the ladder. If you can press 2 buttons at the same time, you can do it. Infinite Mystery going ahead, heading into Quint. I think he's probably too far behind at this point to pull off the upset on Granin Hero with, you know, Granin going into the Wily fight. So we will see what happens here. Unless Granin were to, knock on wood, no commentator's curse, do the Wily 2 soft lock, he should be good to move on and face hard selection. Taking a little additional damage there. He could be on... Couldn't he finish this up in 1 minute? That's the question. Can he get the PB? 21:34 is the time to beat. Can we have 3 PBs in 3 races? That would be quite impressive. Nice job by Granin Hero, avoiding the commentator's curse, pulling off a nice Sakugane kill. He's going to be entering this last phase and very likely getting a PB on this race. And a nice, good 15-second PB for our boy Granin Hero, pulling off the 21:19 in match number 3, moving on to face hard selection. Unfortunately, Infinite Mystery is going to go ahead and be eliminated from the tournament, but he will be wrapping up his Wily Stage 1 going on right here. GG's in the chat to Granin Hero for a very strong 15-second PB, a great finishing run to go ahead and clinch his advancement. Up to this point, these racers have raced a lot because of their quote-unquote low seeding, so they've gotten to play in a lot of matches. Infinite Mystery initially beating Sprinting Legs 2-0, then losing to me 2-0, going ahead and losing to Granin, unfortunately, 2-1. Granin Hero starting off the tournament facing facing a forfeit from Megatom, and then going ahead losing 2-1 to Elpis, and then winning 2-0 to Rave Tuba, winning here 2-1. So he's been involved in a lot of matchups, a crowd favorite if you can't tell from the chat, and doing a real good job of clutching out this victory and moving on to face hard selection. But he is going to have his work cut out for him, because hard selection has a PB 2 minutes faster than him, so the roles are going to be reversed. He is going to be in Infinite shoes now, so we'll see if he's able to take some games off hard selection, put the pressure on like Infinite did here. And crowd rooting on Infinite as he is wrapping up another solid run for him. You know, another close to his initial PB run. His initial PB going into this race was a 23:30 something, 23:42. So he got a PB his first race, he got a PB his second race, and then this one will probably be better than his PB was going into the race. So doing a really good job of being consistent with the strats that he's learned. Unfortunately, just needs to learn a couple of new ones. Needs to learn that Metal Man glitch for sure. And he's going to go ahead and improve that time even further, I believe. Yeah, this still is going to be a little off his first PB. You got to remember he also did lose 9 seconds at the beginning, picking the Clash Man stage instead of Metal Man on accident, and resetting. If he were on PB pace, that would still count. Whoa, Sakugarne phase 3 to finish it off. I've never seen that. Didn't necessarily know it was possible, but I feel like that's pretty swaggy right there. I like it. I like finishing the game off on the pogo. GG to Infinite Mystery with a 24:06 in his third race. I'll go ahead and see if these runners want to come in to chat up with your boy John Carls before we cut. Looks like they are both setting up to hop into the old chat here. Can I move them?
Ups and downs, man.
Hey, I moved you guys in. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
GG's to you guys. How do you feel?
It was a great race.
It was.
For both of us.
So, first things first, Infinite Mystery pulling off 2 PBs. The first and the second race, and then Gran and Hero, you coming in and getting a PB the third race. Each race had a PB in it, so that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, we're putting on the show for everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, what is your guys' obsession with Airman stage, and why do you have to go there so quickly? Both of you making the same mistake, back-to-back runs. Very strange. I was at first not sure that I thought Infinite maybe had a different strat going on there, but I think he was just menued incorrectly because the second race went back to the normal route, and then you did the same thing.
Yeah, when my console crashed, I just everything went wrong that round. So I just got all the fault out of the way and then pulled off the PB in the third match.
Well, what made you decide to go ahead and push through that race and not, request a reset or something? You just felt like that wasn't fair to Infinite, or?
It's a race. If I fall in the race, I have to get up and finish it. It's just like that.
Well, honestly, if you had requested to reset, I would have reset along with you. I didn't deserve to win that second win.
Oh, actually, it's funny you say that. That was really great sportsmanship by both of you guys. You're both upstanding guys. But that race was basically exactly the amount of time apart that he reset. So you guys would have been essentially tied. You were 2 minutes in, like a minute 58 into the first run when your console crashed and restarted, and Infinite won that race by 2 minutes. So that would have been so Infinite. You actually could have pulled off that upset. You definitely deserved that win for sure. Brandon getting a little shaken by the console issue, having some issues on some certain fights and whatnot. But Infinite, you had a lot of intense boss battles. Like, you were down to your final hit 5 or 6 times and just kept clutching out these kills.
Yeah, I really shouldn't be living on the edge like that. That has to stop. But
how's your blood pressure? Is it doing okay, or?
That's fine.
You were stressing me out. I made some weird noises the chat made fun of during your Clash Man fight because it was so close. Just so scared.
Yeah.
But
that's
awesome.
Still a major problem for me as well as Metal.
Well, yeah, it's a very hard fight. Yeah, we got to teach you the Metal Man glitch, my friend.
I think I still need a more solid attempt than that PV during the race was before I could even, since it's only going to save 1.5 seconds at most.
Yeah, it saves a couple seconds, but it's safe too. You know, you don't get killed, so that's nice too. But you don't have any metal blades getting thrown at your face. But really awesome races for sure. Grandin, you played like the most matches in this tournament because of the seeding. You are going to face Hard Selection next, who you are 2 seeds higher than. Do you feel like you're 2 seeds higher than Hard Selection right now?
No, he's gonna use his hard knuckle on me so much.
Yeah, Hard Selection, the 13 seed, has a better PB than I do as the 3 seed, so he is just taken off, kind of making the seeding unfair for some people when you get that good at a game. But you're gonna have your work cut out for you. There's about as much of a difference in your PB with Hard Selection as there was between you and Infinite, so that's gonna be you're gonna have your roles reversed here.
Yeah, I know what I need to practice on. I only don't know if I got a time for it when our match will be scheduled and stuff like that.
Awesome. Well, any last thoughts from you guys about the race or about the tournament so far? Unfortunately, Infinite, you are done. You know, you beat Sprinting Legs in the first round 2-0. Then you faced a very handsome man and myself and lost, and then had this very close match against Grandin going all 3 rounds. So you put up a good fight in the tournament. Unfortunately, you are heading out, but we do appreciate that you entered it. Hopefully, you'll be watching and continuing running this game.
Congrats to you, Granian Hero. Thanks, John Carlos, for the tournament. Thanks, Speed Gaming, for the hosting of the tournament. Thanks to all of the runners, and great job to everyone so far with their progress. This tourney has been a blast to be in and watch, and I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the tournament.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all so much for watching. Thanks for participating. Two awesome runners. Go ahead. I'm going to post one more time to go give them a follow. And I do not know what is up next on the schedule. Does anybody know?
I just want to say a quick GG to Infinite Mystery, of course, as well. And thank you, Jan Carls, for putting this tournament up. I'm having a blast, and I've improved my personal best with 3 minutes since the seeding.
It's awesome.
So, it's super fun. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Everybody go ahead and give them follows. I don't know what's coming on next. Probably some Zelda Rando or something else, or we'll host something, but there's like 6 speed gaming channels. There's constantly tournaments going on. So go ahead and follow those. We're going to go ahead and cut for now, but thank you so much. Check the schedule for upcoming Mega Man 2 matches. I believe we have another one tomorrow. I think Endy versus... Oh, no. What's the next race? I don't know. Check the schedule, but we've got a couple more races going before we're moving on to the next round. So thanks so much, everybody, and have an awesome day.